According to John Maynard Keynes, words ought to be a little wild, for they are the assaults of thoughts on the unthinking. At this juncture, we will tackle about the English economist and philosopher whose ideas fundamentally changed the theory and practice of macroeconomics and the economic policies of governments.
Do you know who is John Maynard Keynes? John Maynard Keynes was also known as the father of macroeconomics. He was born on June 5, 1883 and died on April 21, 1946.
John Maynard Keynes was known as the great intellectual inventors of the first half of our century, and certainly its greatest political economist. British economists' ideas and economic theories fundamentally changed the theory and the practice of macroeconomics and influenced the economic strategies of governments. He is indisputably one of the most influential economists, not just for 20th century, but all of time. Here are some of his work. Most influential work was the General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money in the year of 1935-1936. His other works included Indian Currency and Finance in the year of 1913, Treatise on Probability 1921, A Tract on Monetary Reform 1923, A Treatise on Money 1930, and many scholarly and journalistic articles.
So one theory that is developed by John Maynard Keynes is the Keynesian theory. Keynesian economics is sometimes referred to as a depression economics, as Keynes' general theory was written during a time of deep depression, not only in his native United Kingdom, but also worldwide.
Keynes was well known for his ideas on how to stimulate the economy during recessions to both shorten and lessen their impact. Keynes suggests we avoid and escape recessions by spending. His theory is involved in increasing government spending and decreasing the burden of the taxation as the economy began to slow down. With the use of Keynesianism, interest rates fall and unemployment falls, while people have more money to spend when the economy begins to stagnate.
Let me ask you something. Does Keynesian theory still exist? What are the relevant in today's world? That the government adopted this theory?
John Maynard Keynes developed his theories in the 1930s in an attempt to understand the Great Depression and avoid such catastrophes in the future. Keynesian economics then continued to dominate global economic systems from the 1940s until 1970s, where it met its unanticipated kryptonite, stagflation. Stagflation is where an economy suffers from both rising inflation and unemployment along with low growth. Keynesianism couldn't effectively smooth the highs and lows when the economy's general direction was downward and failed to provide the necessary boost in growth. Nonetheless, Keynesianism has still proven to be an effective method of avoiding and reducing recessions, even being used recently as well. Right now, if it weren't for Keynesianism, the COVID pandemic would have easily plunged the world into the worst depression in history.
As per Keynesian economics, government investment intended to boost aggregate demand can lessen the impact of recessions and minimize unemployment more substantially. Several governments employ factors of the ideas to balance out their economy's boom and bust cycle. Keynesian theory creates a big impact on society when the economy is weak. They would encourage deficit spending on labor-intensive infrastructure projects to boost employment and stabilize wages.
An example of this is the infrastructure's development through the Build program of the 30th administration that is said to be one of the key drivers of the economic recovery of the country amid the economic recessions being experienced by the Philippines and the world at large due to the COVID-19 pandemic and provided 6.5 million jobs to Filipinos, which allows our country to overcome stagflation.
But before we end our presentation, let us leave you a quote by Sandhya Dalaha. According to her, a responsible citizen is the one that sees something wrong in the society and responds not by blaming the government or leaders, but by designing ways and means of bringing a lasting solution to the issues at hand.